Two friends engage in an adventure full of surprises. This story is about friendship, bravery, and finding your way home. In this case, two dragons find themselves lost on Earth. Will they ever return? And if they do, will they be able to keep up with humans? All around them are the sounds of nature: birds chirping, insects buzzing, frogs croaking, bees humming, wind rustling grasses. Dragon and Gaia fly over green hills dotted with tall oak trees. There's no sign of civilization anywhere nearby. As they fly above the ground, they see an odd sight coming from the forest below. Glowing and humming sounds seem to be emitted from what looks like a portal in the middle of nowhere. Curious as always, Dragon and Gaia land next to it and step inside. Then, soon as they are safely within its confines, the portal closes behind them. Then, a few seconds later, they emerge into a jungle unlike any dragon has ever experienced. It's a time portal they have stepped through. Their first thought was that perhaps there might be something useful here for them to learn, but at the moment, they don't know where or how to begin looking for such things. So, they decide to explore the area. A funny thing just happened as they looked around. For one reason or another, both dragons start to feel more human than draconic. Gaia seems significantly affected by these feelings, though she doesn't understand why. She feels drawn toward a large tree near her. Something about it calls to her, pulling her closer and closer to find herself standing beneath it. However, when she reaches out to touch it, she realizes that the bark isn't natural. It appears to be made of glass instead. Could this tree be artificial? Or could it possibly be alive somehow? Whatever the case, Gaia is fascinated enough to want to climb onto its branches and look around. Before she can do so, however, she hears a sound. It comes from somewhere off to her left, and she turns to investigate. Dragon follows after his companion and sees that she's heading in the direction of a small pond he noticed earlier. So he decides to go check it out, too. As they approach, they see something floating on the water. What's that over there? The dragoness stops and stares down at it. It looks almost like a person, and a woman is wearing a white dress. Her hair is long blonde, flowing freely across the still lake's surface. A lady of the lake. Gaia steps forward slowly, observing for any signs of danger. When none appear, she lowers herself gently into the cool water and swims towards the woman who sits cross-legged on the bottom. Dragon watches intently, curious about what will happen next. He notices that the woman wears a necklace with 3 red stones. What significance does this have? Does it mean anything significant? If not, then why wear it? The woman sees dragons and rises, but suddenly, she begins to sink again. A wave rises from the depths, washing away her dress, revealing a beautiful young girl underneath. "Hello," says the woman. "I am Mother Nature." Mother Nature. Yes. I created you, Dragon, Gaia, and every other living creature on this planet. Now, please come join me under the sea. Both dragons join the young lady below, and together they enter an underwater cave. There are many fish swimming above them, and even a few mermaids. They watch as Mother Nature walks among them, greeting each one individually. Then, she takes them to a room filled with bookshelves, which contain hundreds upon thousands of books and statues of people. These statues represent the various races of humans, elves, dwarfs, orcs, goblins, trolls, gnomes, and others. Each sculpture has a book containing information about the race represented within. Inside the room is a table surrounded by chairs. Mother Nature stands behind it, smiling warmly. All the creatures gather around her, watching as she opens up a drawer inside the desk. Inside, she pulls out several scrolls and hands one to each of them. Dragon and Gaia are amazed at what they are seeing. Is incredible. How did she know they were coming here? And how exactly does she expect them to read these things? Please take your scroll, Mother Nature motioned toward the open drawer. Dragon and Gaia reach into the drawers and pull out their scrolls. Dragon scrutinizes him, reading the first line. It reads, "You have been chosen." He doesn't understand it, however, Gaia seems able to decipher it. She smiles softly at Dragon, pleased with herself. She continues to read aloud. These words hold great importance. It would help if you traveled far and wide to find answers to questions that may seem impossible to answer. You must search deep into the heart of darkness and discover hidden truths. It won't be easy. However, it is necessary to uncover secrets that could change the fate of our entire world forever. As she finishes reading, a light shines brightly in the room. Dragon and Gaia look up, startled, wondering where this came from. At first, they thought there was something wrong with the lights, but after looking closer, they saw that the room was glowing brighter than ever before. It's very unusual. Suddenly, the room becomes dark again, and both dragons feel dizzy. Something has happened, but what? Mother Nature approaches them as they sit down on the floor, bewildered and confused. What just happened? Asks Dragon. He looks at his scroll. We've done nothing but cause trouble, he thinks. What do we need to do next? Gaia sits beside him, trying to make sense of it all, and they begin hugging each other tightly, hoping the situation will improve soon. The two dragons are still sitting on the ground when suddenly, they hear footsteps approaching them. Both dragons turn towards the sound and see who is walking over to them. A tall man with a bald head and Germanic features come into view. He wears black pants and a white shirt and carries a large staff. His face glows bright red, and he breathes fire onto the floor near them. Who are you? Demands the dragon. Why did you attack us without warning or reason? I am the Lord of Fire, replies the wizard, laughing maniacally. Dragon and Gaia stare at him, stunned. This guy sounds crazy. Why would someone want to burn people alive? Lord of Flame strolls towards them, staring at them intently. The flames around his body continue burning higher and hotter until he finally reaches them. Is what occurs when you step into a time portal, exclaims Dragon. They can't believe what they are hearing. How could anyone be so cruel? This is why I'm here, says Lord of Flame, pointing at Gaia. I seek her power. Her strength. Her what? Asks Dragon. Power. Strength. Power. Strength. That's how it goes. Aha. Yes, yes indeed, laughs Lord of Flames. He then turns to Dragon and holds his hand out toward him. When he does, Dragon feels a sudden jolt inside of himself. He falls backwards and lands on the hard floor. There's an explosion of pain throughout his whole body. He cries out in agony, clutching his stomach. As he lies on the floor, unable to move anymore, he sees the Lord of Flame standing above him. You think you're strong, sneers the wizard. But your strength is not enough. You cannot defeat me. Your magic is weak. Weak. So weak. No matter how powerful you become, you will never be able to beat my power. Dragon gets back onto his feet and blasts the wizard with an explosion of fire, sending him flying across the room. Dragon tries to get up and run away from the madman, but too many things go wrong. His legs don't work correctly, his wings refuse to fly properly, and he loses control over his tail. He collapses once more on the ground, this time unconscious. When Dragon wakes up, he finds himself lying flat on his belly, with Gaia over his head. She has been using her powers to protect him against the evil wizard, and she rests her hands on his chest, watching him as best as possible from further attacks. She looks down at him and smiles sadly. Both dragons realize something: their fight isn't going well. The wizard is far more potent than either one of them. He doesn't even seem bothered by the dragon's fire blast. If anything, it seems to make him happy. Whilst this has been going on, the others in the room join the fight, and the battle begins anew. The wizard uses his magic to create fiery balls, which he throws at Dragon and Gaia, who try desperately to dodge these missiles. However, there are too many of them. Each time they miss, the wizard creates 3 more. As if that wasn't bad enough, Lord of Flame takes advantage of the distraction caused by the 2 dragons and launches forward, trying to land a blow upon Gaia. Gaia raises both arms, protecting herself against the attack, whilst Dragon moves to intercept Lord of Flame. "Ha ha ha," roars Lord of Flame. "So you've come at last. Well done, Dragon. Ha ha ha. Now we shall see whose power reigns supreme." Lord of Flame unleashes a torrential stream of fire towards Dragon, who dodges the flames quickly, then grabs hold of Lord of Flame, holding him off balance and preventing him from attacking any longer. "Let us end this quickly," growls Dragon, tightening his grip. "No way," says Lord of Flame. "I am Lord of Flames. I can do whatever I want to whomever I please. And you'll learn that very soon." With a flash, Lord of Flames disappears into thin air, leaving only the smell of smoke behind. It's time to go and say goodbye to the woman the 2 dragons met floating in the lake. So it's time to find that portal again and step through. They follow the path to where they first entered the cave. When the 2 dragons reach the spot, they look about nervously. There's no sign of the lady anywhere. Then, suddenly, the door opens, and out steps the beautiful woman. She strolls toward them, smiling kindly. As she comes closer, Dragon notices that her skin glows faintly green. Her hair is long and black, flowing freely down past her waist. A single strand dangles from one side of her face. In her hand, she holds a large staff. On its top, a glowing crystal shines brightly. "Well, hello there," she says, approaching the 2 dragons slowly. Both dragon hearts begin beating faster, and it feels like such a critical moment. Suddenly, she stops dead still and turns her head slightly. Does something catch her attention, just beyond the edge of sight? Something dangerous? No, not, more like curious. She glances back at the dragons. "Why, you're quite handsome," she purrs softly as her eyes fall upon the young male. "And you seem to be rather strong yourself." Her gaze lingers on Dragon for several moments, making him feel uncomfortable. He tries hard to ignore the feeling. Then she looks over at Gaia, noticing how small and frail the female dragon appears. "You poor thing," she sighs sadly. "Your wings are broken." Dragon feels himself growing angry. How dare anyone speak to Gaia like that? He steps forward angrily, but quickly remembers what happened earlier with Lord of Flame and decides to remain quiet. However, the woman continues talking anyway, seemingly unaware that anything has changed between them since last time. "But don't worry, my dear," she tells Gaia gently. "The good news is that your wings will heal soon enough. You needn't suffer any longer." "Thank you," Gaia replies quietly, looking up at the woman hopefully. Gaia takes a deep breath and asks the woman if she can help her get home. Of course, answers the lovely lady. She leads them over to the portal they used earlier. She instructs them to use the exact words they did before opening it. This time, however, the portal does not appear immediately. Instead, it seems to materialize out of nowhere after a few seconds. With a puff of energy, a large circular doorway hovers in front of the two dragons. As the two dragons approach the portal, it begins to close but then pauses. "Wait!" shouts the woman urgently. Both dragons stop in their tracks, unsure whether or not to listen. "Please wait," urges the woman desperately. Just as the portal starts to move away, Dragon speaks loudly and confidently, "We shall return." A loud crackling sound fills the air, the portal disappears. Dragon and Gaia step backwards cautiously, waiting for whatever happens next. The lady starts to speak again, this time sounding very sad and concerned. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you," she explains apologetically. Dragon and Gaia look at each other, confused, and ask why the lady made them miss their chance to get home. "Oh no, it's all right," says the lady reassuringly. "It was only an illusion." The lady gestures towards the portal behind her, which suddenly reappears. "This one will take you home," she says kindly. Once the door opens fully, both dragons walk into the portal together. They hear a loud crackling noise fill the air, the portal vanishes. A puff of wind blows past the two friends as they pass through the gateway. When they arrive back in the forest, Dragon turns to look at his friend. "What do you think?" he asks her curiously. Gaia stares at the ground, unable to answer, but is glad to be home with Dragon. The story ends with both dragons walking off happily together into the sunset. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks.